Guys, today we're going to dive into my $320 per day DeFi passive income strategy. This is how much my overall portfolio is generating. There's different sectors of the portfolio. So there's this one that's generating $58 per day, which is actually my Solana concentrated liquidity pools. We'll dive into those. We also got $48 per day from this Solana passive income strategy that is basically like holding in the market. It's a pretty low risk strategy and it's generating a 125% APY. And then $214 per day from the other sector of my portfolio, which is on Ethereum networks and kind of focusing on Ethereum itself. So that being said, I want to show you these actual positions. Over on Metrics Finance, we're tracking Ethereum to Aave, which is doing a 174% APR. Pretty crazy. I have about $18,000 in there, and it's doing very, very well so far. Just deployed into this one a couple days ago, and it was actually a rebalance from a previous position. We also have Spec to Ethereum, which is over on Aerodrome. I only have about $6,100 in here. The reason why is because Spec is a very, very volatile asset. Now, this one is currently doing about a 60% APR, and so since I just entered into it, the APR hasn't really had its chance to even out, and it is expecting about 120% to 150% APR. And then we also have Ethereum to Aether, where I have about $25,000 allocated. This is one of my biggest bets right now, basically, and this is also doing a 170% APR. And this one I've been in for about a week now, and I haven't really needed to rebalance it quite yet, so it's just doing its thing. It's performing as it should be. I also have over on Orca, Solana to USDC. Over on Radium, I have Solana to Pyth. And then of course over on Camino, I have this JLP leverage strategy, which is doing a 125% APY. If I actually just move my camera real quick, you could see that thing's at a $3,600 profit so far as well. So overall, entire portfolio is doing great. Entire portfolio is producing income, which is what I like to see in the portfolio. It should be producing income. And the reason why is because I can then go and build other portfolios, whether it be HODL portfolios, whether it be brand new positions, exploring a new network, diving into high risk asset, something along those lines. All this income allows me to kind of build up those types of portfolios. If I wanted to, I could take this income and start to put it in my bank account, take it as profit and use that money to live on, have supplemental income to my 9 to 5, whatever it may be. Basically, I can use that money. This can be translated into real money. And a lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people look at this like numbers on a screen. And while it is numbers on a screen, that's the reality that we live in today. So I highly encourage you to try it out, get a feel for it, right? And actually start to dive into some positions, whether it's with $100, $1,000, $10,000. We even have people that have positions of $1 million plus in DeFi in our DeFi legacy program. Basically, you can dive in with any amount of capital and using that money, start generating some money and start getting that proof of concept so that way you can dive deeper into this industry. Now, that being said, that's what Mitch is doing, generating this crazy 15,000% APR. Keep in mind, he has only been in these positions for like half a day or so, and he's kind of trading within these positions. But the point is, from this position, in about a day, he's generated $1,000, which is pretty crazy right there. Quali is doing over 100% APR on basically all of their positions except this Ethereum to USDC one right over here. They're doing 353% here, 143% here, 120% here. They even got a small bag allocated to a meme coin, Miggles, over on Base, doing a 690% APR. Point is, you guys can do this too. It's not just me. It's not just my friends. It's not just my colleagues. It's anybody can do this because it's decentralized finance. And that's why I love this industry so much. Now, that being said, we see posts like this every single day in our DeFi Excel community or DeFi legacy, whatever it may be. And the beauty of this is people are sharing their strategies. People are sharing what they're doing, and they're actually giving valuable tips to beginners, just like Quali was doing a couple days ago. So if you guys are looking for the best place to start, it's in our DeFi Excel community, where we take a data-driven approach to investing. Link is going to be right below this video, but I want to go ahead and dive into the meat and potatoes. As mentioned, I am doing $320 per day off of the DeFi portfolio. Guys, this is not money that is to be collected. This is money that has been collected. This is not random APRs on VFAT that fluctuate literally every single minute. One time they show 1,000, 2,000%. The next time they show 100, 150%, right? This is based on actual position data that I have been in. Once again, going back to a data-driven approach. We don't fluff numbers. We talk about the real numbers right here. 157% APR is derived from saying that I have $960 in earnings and how long I've been in these positions for on average. Now, with that being said, I want to actually break down some of these strategies. These are all assets that I believe in, by the way. As you guys probably know, chase assets, don't chase yields. Something that we've been saying for about a year or 2 years now, because a lot of people end up chasing the yields. They end up chasing assets that have super super high yields, not because they care about the assets, but because they care about the return that they're producing. Now, granted, while that might be a good strategy if they're producing good returns, it's very luck-based. It's very gambling-like. And the reason why is because you're just diving into stuff that has high returns. I can go to the casino and get a high return, but within DeFi, if you want to get consistent returns and you want to consistently earn income and earn a similar income without having to not be able to sleep at night, wondering if your positions are safe, basically, you want to dive into assets that you would already hold in your crypto portfolio. I go to sleep pretty well at night and I fall right asleep. I wake right up, energetic, ready to go, and ready to start the day. And the reason why is because I have a portfolio in a bucket of assets that I truly believe in. And the ones that I don't have as much conviction in, one of those being spec, because it has done me dirty in the past. I have seen some pretty bad price action earlier this year on spec. I don't allocate a huge portion of my portfolio to, less than 10% of my general rule of thumb. I have about $80,000 allocated to DeFi positions right now. Spec is $6,000, less than 10% of the portfolio. Now dive into Ethereum to Aave. Aave is the largest lending and borrowing market, and Aave token is the governance token, and of course there's revenue sharing for Aave token, meaning if you stake Aave token, you're earning a share of the revenue that is generated by Aave platform. Pretty much a no-brainer. But if you stick Aave in a liquidity pool instead of staking it, you can earn 173% APR. Point is, other people, by staking Aave, they earn income. Me, by putting in a liquidity pool, I profit from people buying it, but at the same exact time, I also earn income by being in this pool. This one's doing $86 per day. Pretty happy with those results, and I have about $18,000 in it. I am at a profit from the price appreciation, which is great. I have spec to Ethereum. Remember, this one is still kind of factoring in its APR. This one was literally 55% earlier today. It's already up to 62%. It's kind of getting up to target, and the reason why is because I just started earning those arrow incentives because I did just stake this position literally a couple hours ago. With that being said, $6,100 in liquidity, earning me about $10 per day at current estimations. Once this goes to about 120% APR, which is what we're expecting, and it's not factored into that $320 per day calculation, that will be an extra $10 per day, which I know doesn't sound like a lot, but what could you buy with an extra $10 per day? What could you buy with an extra $20 per day? What could you buy with an extra $320 per day if you're just earning income on your cryptocurrency assets? Or how much faster could you build your portfolio if you're earning income on your cryptocurrency assets? I want you guys to think about that over the next couple minutes. Ethereum to Aether is my big boy right here. I have about $25,000 deployed in this position. Really love Aether token. It does similar revenue to Render, yet it has a substantially lower market cap than Render token, basically. With that being said, it's generated me $115 per day. It has continuously generated me $115 per day, which is what I'm happy for because I've been in this since December 9th, and as you can see, I have $882 in earnings. So that's going to wrap it up for the ones that are paired with Ethereum right here. That's about $50,000, doing about $213 per day. Let's move on. Next one are my Solana liquidity positions. These ones are on Orca and Radium. I have sold USDC. This one's doing about an 88% APR. I am expecting this to go up a little bit. I did enter this one on Saturday, so we're still factoring in a good amount of the weekend volume. And if we were to look specifically over here on Orca, you could see things doing about 120% APR if we look strictly just at today's volume. Once again, if we're using the 88% APR projection, that's $20 per day off of this position. This is only $8,400 that I have allocated over here, so not bad whatsoever. And then I also have Solpith, which is over here on Radium. This one's showcasing roughly a 160% APR, and that's exactly what I'm doing, 160% APR, which I'm pretty happy for. Off of $8,600, I'm doing about $38 per day. Once again, this is not bad income whatsoever, and this just adds to the overall portfolio compounding concept. And then the last position that I have, 125% APY off of JLP. Pretty happy with this. If we were to do the math over here, it's coming out to roughly $48 per day. Keep in mind, this is automatically compound, so it's automatically going to generate me more income over time. But this position is basically backed by Sol, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. And then obviously there's a couple stable coins, but I am leveraging up on this position to kind of factor out those stable coins. I made a whole video on this strategy. It's called my 125% APY Solana strategy or something along those lines. It's actually right over here. So if you guys want to stay up to date with the latest DeFi videos, make sure to drop a like and of course subscribe when notifications turned on. We put a ton of free and valuable content on this channel, so make sure to check that out if you guys wish to do so. And while we're on the topic of valuable content, I want to talk about something within DeFi Excel that we're going to be running basically this week starting, where we go over portfolio planning, then dive into position discovery. We master our performance simulation to make sure we have a good idea on the risk that we're taking. We dive into actually deploying the capital and of course managing the positions that you actually deploy your capital into. This is a 5-call series that we're going to be hosting basically from this week all the way to the end of of January. And the goal is to get you familiar with every single building block of DeFi, so that way you can effectively run your own DeFi passive income portfolio. We've never done anything like this. We're going to reveal an immense amount of value, and I'm super excited to do so, basically. So once again, if you guys are looking for that type of support, begin coaching calls, ask me questions directly, and actually learn how to plan, discover positions, simulate performance so you understand risk, dive into actual positions, and of course manage the overall portfolio when it comes to rebalancing and everything along those lines, highly recommend that you join DeFi Excel and you stay tuned for that. But once again, when we dive into the overall portfolio and we add all those sectors together, the $58 per day that we are doing from these Solana positions right over here, the $48 per day that I'm doing from this Camino position right here, and of course the $214 per day from the backbone of the portfolio, which is on the Ethereum network primarily, a little bit over on Base, we are doing a total cumulative of $320 per day. Remember, we talked about optimizing that. If we're generating an extra $10 per day from the spec position, if we're generating an extra $20 per day from the Solana position, once those new yields kind of factor in, that's $350 per day off of a roughly $80,000 DeFi portfolio. I'm pretty damn happy with those results right there. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Hope you guys found it valuable. Remember, you know what to do. If you did find it valuable, there's a ton of resources right below this video. I will see you guys in the next one, and peace out.